Hello, folks. In case you didn't get enough of Bohemia Clasica, we're going to wear this out. And we're examining it. We tried to do this Wednesday night, but unfortunately, the people that wanted to do it could not find it, and then you weren't able to join us right off the bat. And this is Paul from Texas. And
hello.
I bought this 6-pack for $7.99. You pay a little bit more, about $1.50 more.
It was $9.15, so it wasn't terrible.
Okay, $1.16 more. So I did a review of it a few years ago, and then Wednesday I did a revisit. So this is not a review; it's an examination. This beer was introduced in 1905, and it's been a Heineken International brand since 2010. It's brewed by Cuauhtémoc Montezuma, and I believe when it was started, it was one of these little independent companies. And Cuauhtémoc Montezuma went around buying up smaller companies, and then they themselves were bought out.
Mm-hmm.
There's also a Bohemia wheat beer. There's a Bohemia dark called Obscura, which I've been unable to find. They were making a chocolate stout.
Obscura, you can't find it? That's funny.
Right. And they were making a chocolate stout. But
that sounds good.
Yeah, I believe that was discontinued. It has a very, well, you can see how nice the bottle is.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
Foil neck, foil cap.
It reminds me of the old when the macro brewers in America in the 80s were trying to get high end, like the Michelob bottles and things like that. Kind of reminiscent of those.
Oh yeah, you're right. Now you said you and Katie were drinking it.
Yeah. I got it. So I got it, a couple days before the examination was scheduled, and we pretty much drank one a day almost. I think this was I have one left after this one.
So I'm joining from Louisiana, and you're joining us from Texas, and
yes,
a lot of other states can't get it. What do you think about the 4.7% alcohol? It's not.
Yeah, sounds right in line with kind of traditional big selling lagers, right?
Yeah,
Pilsners, lagers.
Yeah, this is a Pilsner. They say now whether they use corn or rice adjunct, I don't know. They don't give a recipe list on the website, but it doesn't really taste very corny or ricey, does it?
No. It's well, I mean, I didn't get much of a head when I poured it. It went away really fast too. It's very bubbly. Bubbles constantly coming up.
Yeah.
And the smell is a very beery smell. Like, I mean, reminds me of going to it reminds me always when I smell this kind of beer, reminds me of the St. Joan of Arc festival they used to have there every year. I don't know if they probably still do have it, but just that kind of that beer smell in the air,
Because people in southeastern Louisiana drank a lot of it.
Yeah, especially at Catholic school festivals.
Right.
So anyway, it kind of has that smell that, what is it? The yeast that you're smelling.
Yeah, it's like bread or something.
Yeah, the bread.
But then
that bready beer smell.
That stereotypical beer smell.
Mm-hmm. And it's the color is it's actually a lot lighter than I thought it would be. I don't know. I think I've been drinking it out of the bottle, so I didn't really notice how. It's pretty pretty golden.
Yeah, more gold.
Light golden.
More gold than straw.
Yeah. There's a pretty light color to it. Now,
I would imagine you could maybe find this beer at Mexican restaurants, but I don't think you'd find it at any just ordinary restaurant.
Yeah, I think I've heard of it before, but it's not something I really see very often. I can tell you that.
I think if I went to Houston and I went to a bunch of Mexican restaurants, what would I probably see? Corona Extra?
Corona, Dos Equis.
Corona Light.
Which one?
Corona Light.
Oh, Corona Light, yeah.
Carta Blanca, maybe.
Maybe. What's the other one that you did recently?
You probably wouldn't see Victoria. You'd probably see Modelo, maybe.
Yeah, Modelo. That's what I'm thinking of. Modelo Especial or whatever.
Yeah, but this one may be a little more obscure. Now, when I went to Mexico, the actual country of Mexico last year, I was at a restaurant in Nuevo Progreso, and they had this at Arturo's, and I don't recall it being too expensive. It was just like an ordinary price, but
how
probably higher in Texas.
Where is this just kind of like they focus mainly on marketing in the U.S. and Mexico with this beer? They don't go like to Europe and stuff with it, do they?
I don't recall ever seeing a video review for this from anyone outside of the United States or Mexico, but it's possible. But I don't recall. And usually, most of these people in Australia or in Europe, I've seen them do Corona,
right?
Corona, Tecate, those the more well-known Mexican beers. But it's sad in a way because this is probably the best one of the whole bunch.
Yeah. So getting to the flavor, it's surprisingly full-bodied when you drink it. You're not really expecting it. To me, well, I wasn't expecting it. I was expecting kind of a typical American lager type style, like Corona or Carta Blanca or something like that. But it's just a really full flavor. You really get the malts.
Now on the packaging, there's a big, long, drawn out description of the beer, but it's all written in Spanish, so I couldn't.
Very light, and you get the very light hop bitterness, but there's a little bit there. It's not going to overwhelm you.
It is.
You're one of these people that love hops. You're not going to like it, but you definitely taste them. I do. And it's just like I said to you in my email to you. I find it's like a really well balanced beer. It's just full bodied, nice flavor, real drinkable. I mean, you can sit there and drink this all day long. And not get sick of it, like I can with some of these other really overpowering beers, or really light beers. So it's just like a nice, perfect blend of flavor and drinkability.
Now, and Katie was given it any particular praise, or just saying she thought it was really good?
She says one of her favorite beers she ever had, and like I said, especially with 4 kids running around, it's hard to even finish a beer, and she finished that one for sure. So
oftentimes she'll drink one, and probably a lot more expensive beers that she won't finish.
Right, yeah, because they're like we've talked about, those more expensive beers tend to be the ones that are really strong in flavor and kind of overwhelm your palate at times, and they're really good. Like you drink a few ounces of it, but then it's kind of like you're done. I mean, for me at least.
Yeah.
8 ounces of one of those imperial stouts, and I'm like, that's great. It's really good. I'm kind of done.
But you wouldn't want to drink a pint of it.
No, it just gets to be a little much.
Well,
for me, it's just my own personal.
Now, how do you?
preference.
I don't know. I was going to say, how do you think this stands up against Michelob? But you probably haven't had Michelob in a good while.
Yeah, I wouldn't be able to compare it. That's for sure.
Okay, so I think this.
Oh, remember I mentioned, kind of reminds me of Anchor Steam beer, and just that it's similar kind of style, and it has a really good flavor, really good balance, something you can sit there and drink, and not get overwhelmed by, but just really enjoy. It's just really good. I like it a lot.
And they're very similar in their price range.
Mm-hmm.
So, but yeah, I think you made a perfect point. Anchor Steam and Bohemia probably very close. And
if you look at when they start making it in
1905.
1905, probably a similar recipe.
Yeah, Anchor Steam was reformulated in 1971. They redid it as a craft beer. I think before that it was just like an ordinary beer, but the company was essentially bankrupt.
Right. And
they were bought out by one of the Maytag family members.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, he had a lot of money, of course, with Maytag, washing machine and dryers. So he basically, actually, he made the first craft beer in America with.
It wasn't Gordon Jump, was it? No, I'm just kidding.
It's Fritz Maytag.
No, Gordon Jump was actually the second Maytag repairman. I don't know the name of the actor who did the first one. His face is, you can picture it. He was ubiquitous on TV in the 70s, but I can't think of his name.
Right. Well, anyway,
getting back to the beer, I really like it. I mean, I give it a wholehearted thumbs up.
And oftentimes when we do the examinations, we say, "Would you buy it again?"
Yeah, I would. I would definitely buy this again. Yep. Even though it's a little pricey, but like I've said before, I don't drink beer enough to, where the price is that concerning to me. Like if I'm spending $7 or $9 for a 6-pack, I mean, if it takes me a week to drink it, so it's $2 extra for a 6-pack, not a big deal.
Right. But for $7.99, that's really good.
Yeah. Yeah, that's really good.
We get that out here. Now, in California, I know they get 12 packs of this. 12 packs, but we don't get 12 packs that I'm aware of. Now, there's also a Christmas beer that I had a chance to buy once, and I so stupidly didn't. It's a Christmas beer from Bohemia. It's called Buena Noche. I can't remember which way it's said, but our greeting, I guess it means. And it's got poinsettias on it. If I see it again, I'm definitely going to buy it. And that wasn't a 12-pack. I was at Walmart in Gonzales, Louisiana. And I said, well, I'm not going to buy a whole 12-pack. I'll just get a single one day. I never saw the beer again. So that was a big mistake. But if I see that one, I'll definitely buy it, because if it's up to this level, and it's strong too, it's like a 6% version. It's like a holiday.
You think they have a lot of Mexican beers in Gonzales?
Right. And right up the road from Gonzales is Galvez.
That's right. That's a tiny little town, though.
Galvez, yeah. Okay, well.
So I'd give it an A. An A. I don't know about an A+. That's world class to me. So I'd say just below that. Really, really good. Highly recommend it to anybody who likes a really drinkable beer that isn't going to overwhelm your palate.
Yeah, and the way I score it, A+ is outstanding. World class to me is above A+.
Oh, okay.
Like, you know what I mean? It's like it's even superior to awesome. You know what I mean? Like, if you
how many beers have you given world class scores to?
Only a handful, like West Lateran 12 would be one. I mean, it's higher than an A+. It's like it's 100 out of 100, but there's more to it than that, which is hard to believe. But it's like Commander's Palace. It's better than really, really terrific. You know what I mean?
Right.
Or like 2001: A Space Odyssey. It's better than just a regular movie.
Right. Right.
All right. Well, we got it done. We got the examination. We did it. And next week is not the greatest thing, but it'll be interesting. It's Dos Equis Especial.
Especial. What is that? What's the difference between that and regular Dos Equis?
The regular Dos Equis is the ambar.
Oh, that's the ambar. Okay.
That was introduced in 1897. The Especial was introduced in 1984, I guess, to compete with things like Corona Extra, stuff like that. All right. That's a wrap on this examination.
Bye, everybody.
Examination.
Enjoy your Bohemia beer.
Yes, if you ever see it. So long, folks.